He used to play down in my local before he went global. It's a Dusty Sweeney country show.
For Bling and country, I'll bite into that. Hey, I'm Dusty Sweeney. You might know me from one of my previous albums, Triple Denim, Paid by the Note, or Banjo Pickers Make Love Quicker. I'm more country than a gingham gun holster, more rustic than a scarecrow's boudoir. I'm Dusty Sweeney. I'm a country cliche.
'Cause I'm a country cliche. Old dirt roads and highways, whiskey bottle for the hearty, Lassie Jesus giving me faith.
Welcome live to the Dusty Sweeney Country Show, recorded yesterday. No fake news here, folks, just two chords and the truth. It's stage 2 of our rootin' tootin', all guns shootin' musical road trip for Bling and country. In between multiple whiskey shots in episode 2, I'll be trying to focus my sights on the tragic demise of traditional country music. Tonight I'll be aiming my guns firmly at the new pop country wave that has swept through our beloved traditional country music. Like an allergy-based dandruff superstorm, claiming every esteemed, hard-swilling, pistol-killing, old-school country hack in its wake.
Did anybody see a horse fly by?
I'll be trying to establish where it all went so badly wrong, as we went from real, authentic country gloom to corn syrup, sugar-coated counterfeit, aint life-sweetened, dandy pop country tunes. Now, some of you might be aware that in the early 90s, when I was at the pinnacle of the underground country music scene, I was randomly abducted by aliens. The little fellas really mess with my rustic mojo, folks, but it was nothing compared to what I had to endure when I was returned to Earth again a few years ago. So I split town and go on an intergalactic cosmic country tour and come back and find that folks have stopped singing about prison.
Prison stripes make me look fatter. This color style does nothing for my skin. My cellmate's got the very same outfit. Trust me, you don't want to clash with him.
Hey! Sorry. So-called new country stars are scrubbed cleaner than Pastor Johnson's Jesus-friendly jokebook.
Okay, brothers and sisters, get this one. How does Moses make tea? He brews it.
We've abandoned those conventional country values of prison time, murder, and drunken desperation for an unthinkable world where no one ever gets killed or wounded in country music anymore. Tonight I decree modern country feels too comfy. Frankly, I think it all took a turn for the worse when folks stopped making their own booze and singing about it.
They call it that good old Mountain Dew, and those that refuse it are few. I'll hush up my mug if you fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew.
Well, pass that bottle around. Ain't that just moonshine music to my ears? Well, now, as much as I could sit here all day and drink a case of this stuff, which has become a bit of a habit since my bi-curious heteroflexible ex-wife left me, I'm here to make another case, though. To stand up for the forgotten folks of real country music. To make gingham great again and put some pride back in the moustaches. Folks, we need to ditch the glitz. Bring back the possum belly and grits. Lose the bro country. Bring back the old country. We need less spray tan and more goddamn. Helped resolutely by this single malt whiskey, I'll be trying to identify the remains of what was country music as it's left smouldering in the musical ashes of time. But before that, let's pause for a moment and hear a word from one of our fine sponsors. Are you planning that special day when you discovered your neighbour in secret love affair has fallen pregnant with your child and her pa's holding a 12-bore shotgun to your head, forcing you to make an honest woman out of her? Well, down at Charlene's Shotgun Wedding Parlour, we've got it covered. From our bun-in-the-oven bridal range to our grooms looking down a barrel wedding apparel, right down to the sacramental shotgun of your father-in-law's choosing. And we know how fussy illegitimate grandpas can get. Oh, just in case you have any unexpected interruptions on this cherished occasion, and there's a tiny intruder planning to crash your party, Charlene's Shotgun Wedding Parlour is fitted with special on-site guitar-shaped birthing pools to welcome your budding little Johnny or Dolly into the world. And don't worry, wife-to-be, Charlene's Parlour is fitted with maximum security and hired shooters, just in case that nervous spouse tries to make a run for it. He's well and truly wedlocked in. From the rifle to the throat, the forced exchange of marital vows, to the specially designed Charlene's Shotgun Bullet for My Baby ring, we'll sure make this a knocked-up wedding to remember. For that special press gang matrimonial proposal, bite the bullet and give Charlene's a shot.
At Charlene's Shotgun Wedding Parlour, the up the duff wedding buff.
I'll tell you, times have changed, folks. This brave new world's left me feeling colder than a penguin's picnic. So this leads me to the uncertain new world of modern country music. I say uncertain, folks, because at least with traditional country music, you knew where you stood. A staple diet of pain and misery. This new hopeful, happy-go-lucky world has changed everything. Modern country has left many folks not knowing who they are anymore. I'm Dusty Sweeney, I think. This self-obsessed new world is all about spray tans and pearly whites. Back in the day in Ireland when I grew up, everyone had pearly white skin and tan teeth. I call that authenticity. Now, in my despair with modern country music, I booked an appointment with my banjo therapist, the lovely Donna Pickett, to help overcome some of my anxieties.
Dusty, what is it about modern country music that is troubling you?
Well, Donna, the obvious lack of banjo is kind of hard to condone. The deliberate attempt to avoid classic country topics like prison time and guns troubles me. It's too pristine for my ears. I mean, it's slicker than an otter's snotter. But mostly, it's just not country.
Okay, I realise that the banjo is very important to you from our previous session. Let's imagine it's a crossover pop country song with banjo featured in the production.
You've really put the fox in the hen house there, Donna. Well, it depends how high up the mix the banjo is. When you say featured, I assume you mean main instrument. No effects, no gadgets, just pure, unadulterated banjo. You could maybe twist my arm there, Donna.
Dusty, that is a breakthrough.
Donna really drives my digger.
Now, Dusty, let's do some visualisation.
Will I need my glasses for this, Donna?
No, just close your eyes and imagine. We're shooting a modern country music video. If you'd just like to try this trucker's hat on and turn it round the wrong way, and imagine you're singing in a swimming pool with bikinis and ripped jeans everywhere. Not a banjo or haystack in sight.
Really? I think you might have to hold my hand for this one, Donna. She's got perfect hands. Those digits are textbook. Back again. Donna's the real deal, folks. She doesn't just do banjo detoxification therapy. She also deals with other well-known disorders like closet country music condition and line dance dependency. And very reasonably priced too. Now, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on modern country, folks, but if you don't want to take this old-fashioned cowpoke's word for it, have a listen to this. Here's a wee taste of what the modern country fans are all hollering about. It's Latin disco pop country sensation Lacey Knickers with their new single, all over my man like a spray tan.
I said, excuse me, sister, but that's my mister that you're getting cozy with. Don't be mistaking him for someone who ain't taken. You can take him off your list. And you can take that honey pot. Come on, get me out so hot. Look off your face. 'Cause this queen bee is the only girl that he needs, honey, making no mistake. She's trying to make a move on him. She's all, how you doing, baby? And what's your name? She's all over my man like a spray tan. Yeah, like a spray tan. You can look, but you can't buy. He ain't for her sale now. He's on the shelf. He's only gotten eyes on the #1 prize. No second best to anyone else. She's trying to make a move on him. She's all, how you doing, baby? And what's your name? She's all over my man like a spray tan. Yeah, like a spray tan. Get your hands off my man, horseface.
Spray tan. Let me tell you about tanning. My daddy tanned my ass many's a day when it stepped out of lane. Some of these country prissies could use a little tanning, daddy style.
What?
They've taken the grit and the spit out of country. They've whittled the edges off to make it smoother than Soapy Steve's truck stop wash.
It's Soapy Steve's truck stop wash.
These soft-centred country snowflakes looking to their mamas for counsel and closure. Back then, booze was my counsel, and shooting folks in songs was the best kind of closure a fella could get. This whole crossover country charade has left some folks hotter under the collar than Hank's blessed spicy barbecue sauce.
Holy cow, it's Hank's Blessed Barbecue.
My disappointment with modern country music is a bit like when my eldest boy Merle said to me, Daddy, I want to become a contour fashion designer. What? That's making women's knickers to you and me, if you don't mind. Well, I guess over the years I've had my fair share of women throwing their knickers at me.
Oh, Dusty.
Merle uses them now as part of his university research. Now here's a little song I wrote in response to the new wave of modern country sounds. I sure do hope it leaves you feeling lower than a snake's nutsack. It's yours truly, Dusty Sweeney and the Demon Drink, with modern country. Feels too comfy.
Where have all the murder ballads gone? Those cold-blooded butchering songs. When a fella got life for killing his wife, and everybody loved to sing along. What happened to the guns and the booze, the cheating and the gambling man? To put it quite bluntly, when I hear modern country, it ain't what it was back then. Modern country feels too comfy, it just ain't got that thing. I can't get excited by pool party rides, it just don't hurt the same. No, it just don't feel the same. Modern country feels too comfy, my tears don't fall like rain. I might start listening if they sing about prison and folks start dying again. Yeah, folks start dying again. Johnny Cash stirred just the right amount of hurt Your tears rolled like the train to San Antone. I felt so alone, man, I had to call my mom when he sang Sunday morning coming down. Dolly's many-colored coat really left me choked. I dripped with every stitch her mama sewed. When Hank Williams sang, your heartstrings twanged. He sounded like a suicide note. Modern country feels too comfy. It just ain't got that pain. Getting bevied in a brand new Chevy just don't hurt the same. No, it just don't feel the same. Modern country feels too comfy. My tears don't fall like rain. I might start listening if they sing about prison and folks start dying again. Yeah, folks start dying again.
Like an out-of-control Skynet T900 farmhand, country music's playing its own unrelenting path. And Schwarzenegger, Dusty Sweeney, or no man, is going to stop it. Now, I'm not sure where it's headed in its soul-searching intergalactic odyssey. This brave new world's posed all sorts of questions, like will man ever put a rocket into cyberspace? And how real is artificial intelligence? I'm pretty sure my ex-wife Tommy was artificially intelligent. She didn't know a cow's teeth from a three-piece suite, folks. When she told me she was bi-curious, I confronted her. Now, I know recently she was glued to that documentary on TV, When Rodents Turn Rogue, but she's never been that curious before, and I've known her from school. Anyway, I've had a look into the future of country music, folks, and it's pretty scary. It's a bit like looking down the spout of an empty whiskey bottle. You soon realise that what you loved is all gone. Just a whiff of what used to be. Now, where's that old bottle? Now, I recently visited the scientific Honky-Tonk Institute for Technological Research into Country Music, folks, otherwise known as the SHIT for short. They've got a very catchy strapline too, I noticed on their website. It just says, "Shit, I didn't know that." Let me tell you, folks, this dystopian vision of country music at the SHIT has really haunted me. This shit's darker than 2 weeks on the stout. I've seen things there, folks, that have given me nightmares. I can't get them images out of my head. And whiskey knows I've tried. Do you know you can grow modern country stars from a petri dish? All you need is a wee bit of dirt, an off-cut of Daisy Duke ripped jeans, an old beer bottle top, and some teeth whitener. Genetically modified pop country's on the rise, folks, along with simulated songwriters, holographic hillbillies, riderless horses, virtual pickers, and automated alcoholic-infused cowboys. Soon we'll have outlawed the outlaws. I'm telling you, folks, they've programmed robots now to write country ballads and tearjerkers. We'll all be line dancing to a new dance craze they call algorithm. Now, this new apocalyptic country music world, hold on, alright love, we'll get the idea, is illustrated in my next song from the album Reboots and Buckle Belts. It's the first country song to be penned by a computerised robot. He's the new interface of automated country music, folks, with 2,000 gigabytes of RAM and a whole lot of twang. It's the one and only Chip Silicone. Now, the bionic boondock balladeer and his band, the Motherboards, duet on this song with the lovely Analog. It's a whirlwind romance at 200 megabytes per second. A high-speed algorithmic supercomputer finds compatibility and falls in love with a data file, only to regret their eventual partition. Welcome to the future of computer dating. Here they are with their cybernetic country classic, "Deleting You Was Always the Hardest
My cache was so full of happy times together. Couldn't bring myself to clear our history. It wasn't just a binary choice you left me with all these random access memories.
All this time you kept me in your trash can, so you could reach me if you needed to. I guess I knew which keys to push when it came to it. When I go and show up on your CPU,
now I'm finding it hard to process the loss. This operating system's not computing. No, baby, my hard drive's overloaded.
I could do with some recoding.
Deleting you was always the hardest thing. A love like ours was one in a trillion, like searching for a needle in some hay. I found you through an algorithm. Your number just showed up on my display.
We were truly destined for each other. After hours of calculation from afar, our sequence is so compatible to one another, just like lightning striking on this status bar.
I'm finding it hard to process the loss. This operating system's not computing, no. My hard drive's overloaded.
I could do with some recoding.
Deleting you was always.
That's virtually got me in tears, folks. There's nothing artificial about those love-lost lyrics. I just hope his CPU can finally process the data loss and move on with his life. Now, let's take you back to the better times, before we swap present time and rhinestones for pop, country and light shows and computer-aided cowboys. It's worth noting that murder or widespread killing in songs was first invented by the Irish. Now, here's a classic example of the Irish dirge, She Diddly Idle Died. A classic dirge contains a heady cocktail of downbeat morose themes, never-ending multiverse storylines, and the inevitable catastrophic ending. They were undoubtedly the predecessor, or pre-depressor, should I say, of the traditional country song. Now, until hip-hop music came along in the early 80s, country music proudly boasted the highest body count in the whole of the music industry. In country, we hung people, poisoned folks, drowned them, and shot them down, sometimes just to watch them die. Well, that's country folk for you. On the subject of nooses, hang on to that thought for a minute till we hear a word from one of our fine sponsors.
Ladies, have you upped sticks and recently moved to the city? Let's face it, you're finding it hard to get your head round that metropolitan lifestyle and the toxic stink of the urban jungle. Well, before you turn tail and leave your husband and his phony, high-flying lifestyle and I'm all that bullshit, try our new country perfume range, Rustic Whiff. Designed to evoke the essence of the old homestead. One sniff of Rustic Whiff's enchanted aromas will automatically transport you back to that backwater bliss where you really belong. Our country-scented classics include Boutique Barn, for that mucking out knee-deep in dung fragrance. Why not go for our award-winning sheer steer aroma? It'll leave you smelling like the buffalo gal you truly are. Or how about our moonshine-inspired odor, Frisky Whiskey, for that sexy drunken homebrew allure? And be generous with it, ladies. There's nothing a guy likes more than a gal that reeks of booze. Wow. Hey, city slickers, don't cry yourself to sleep at night. Get a squirt of that farmstead dirt, or that wang that just seems to hang in the country air. With the Rustic Whiff perfume range, you'll smell like you're on the range.
Rustic Whiff. Rustic Whiff. It's the all-over country odor.
I could use a blast of that Rustic Whiff myself. All this talk of death, it's getting a wee bit musky in here. Another great tribute to their brutal lives of country folk, I suppose you could say a close cousin to the murder ballad, is the hanging song. Country folks just love it when songwriters cut loose on the noose. They can't get enough of the hanging tree and the swinging rope around the throat. And there's no finer example of this than the Appalachian folk ballad, Tom Dooley. Now, this is a true story of a Mr. Grayson, a beautiful lady called Laura Foster, and a condemned ex-Confederate soldier called Tom Dooley. It's quite an intriguing tale, as I found out while researching on Wikipedia.com. A wonderful website for fun facts on historical tales on country and folk lifestyles. Now, as the story goes, Tom Dooley was originally shacked up with Laura's cousin, Ann Foster, until he left to fight in the American Civil War. Soon after he left, Ann married an older gent called James Melton. However, on his subsequent return, Tom took up where he left off and shacked up with Ann again, just for old time's sake. He also took a shine to Laura. And rumour has it, their cousin Pauline Foster. I know what you're thinking. This country tale's more confused than my bi-curious ex-wife. Now, there's no doubt that Tom liked to keep it in the family. As it happens, that's a topic we'll be discussing in one of our upcoming episodes.
Sometimes cousins marry.
Now, back to Tom. Things started to get a little out of hand, and Tom decided whilst 2 was company, 3 was a damn good reason to kill somebody. Colonel James Grayson was tasked with the capture of Tom Dooley, now a condemned man. What a curious tale. Here's an equally intriguing version of this Appalachian classic, where traditional country folk meets hip-hop gangster country. Now, I've no real beef with this modern interpretation of country music. You see, it's still got the grit and the spit, but they done added the hip. It's old school country hunk Fat Chance McCoy, featuring badass gangster country rapper Hank the Shank McCready from their collaboration album, Pickers with Attitude.
Yo, Hank the Shank in the house. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Yeah. Hang down your head and cry
like a little sissy crying for his mama.
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley.
Hangman in the house, say,
poor boy,
yo, brother, you're a dead mother now.
Die. Met her on the mountain. There I took her life.
I was packing me a blade.
I met her on the
mountainside.
I stabbed her with my knife
like a hillbilly craze.
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry.
Bring water to my eyes.
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley.
Hang.
Poor boy, you're bound to die.
Hang with all the low riders in the sky.
This time tomorrow, reckon where I would be. Hadn't been for Grayson.
He's name's Grace and I'd be in Tennessee. Laura Foster was her name, I guess I was to blame. It's because I was her cousin's lover, and I think I just loved them both the same. Did my tour of duty and returned. Now she's married to another, so I turned to the cousin. Got a little out of hand, I had a blade on me. She said she doesn't love me, now do you understand? Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Yeah. Hang down.
Now, whether Tom Dooley was the guilty or the innocent party here wasn't really the issue. A good hanging makes a good country song, plain and simple. I sure do hope you're feeling a little like I do right now. As I sit here in this darkened room, mourning the tragic loss of those cold-blooded butchering country classics. Back when folks let their guns do the talking. Men wore moustaches and biscuits were bigger.
Ouch.
I like to take this opportunity to look back and raise a glass to all those great country singers who selflessly give up their livers and marriage in honour of boozing and gambling in songs. Boy, this stuff's smoother than little Keith Urban silk underpants. Here's to those noble soldiers who give it their all, only for folks to be subjected to hair-straightened, pearly white country bromance, backward hat-wearing pop teen idols sipping non-alcoholic cocktails in swimming pools. I can't sit on the fence on this one, folks. Not even if I applied Uncle Gene's industrial strength cream to this saddle rash of mine. Now, folks, like a cowboy movie villain with a grudge, I'll be seeing you after this break.
Have you been affected by any of the themes you heard in country music? Does tequila make your clothes fall off? Are your friends in low places? Are you a boy named Sue? Well, if this sounds like you, why not contact the Country Music Cure?
Country Music Cure.
Therapy and healing for achy, breaky hearts. We can't guarantee you'll get your house, your truck, your dog, or your woman back, but we sure can help with the hurting. Country Music Cure, because misery loves country. Well, my wife sure picked a fine time to leave me. 4 children and a crop in the field. She got the ring and I got the finger. CMC helped me see the light. Call us now on 794-00-00-00-00, or just text Man of Constant Sorrow.
Country Music Cure takes away your pain.
Even more alarming than the devastation of our beloved country music is how folks have turned their backs on good old-fashioned countryman smells and personal hygiene issues. Ooh. These modern country dudes are cut, preened and waxed like a parlour poodle. They've traded saloons for salons. Finger picking and plucking is now an exfoliation and hair removal treatment.
Ouch.
Looking back at the days when I used to write songs about my struggles for love, I looked quite rough and smelled a lot like my dog Liquor. But so did every other country-loving guy that I knew. Jesus, what were they doing with my dog? Folks, things have just gotten way out of hand. And I'm just not talking about Dolly's puppies. They went rogue years ago. I'm referring to old-school country music acts buying into modern country ways. Now, women have always been mighty keen and proper when it came to looking and smelling pretty. But now the older male country stars have swapped beer smells and mud-caked jeans for vitamin-infused gels and herbal mud-packed facial energizers. It doesn't stop there though, folks. Some of our male traditional country icons have sadly taken to the surgeon's knife. They've been skinned and stretched tighter than an adder's pocket. And they've had more fillers than a triple blitzed bodger burger down at Loretta's Roadkill restaurant.
When only the best will do in freeway flattened food.
Folks, they've become as unrecognisable as country music itself. Many environmental activists believe these non-biodegradable plastic-packed heritage acts are simply adding to environmental waste, and even worse, climate change. Personally, folks, I like my traditional country stars to be earthy and recyclable. Now, I felt compelled to make my own musical statement on this issue. Here's a song I wrote from one of my previous albums, called From Killers to Fillers. It's Dusty Sweeney and the Demon Drink, with Real Men Don't Moisturise.
Real men don't moisturize. No, they don't use no cream to revitalize. They're rough and ready, and that's just how they ride. There ain't no cosmetic product ever gonna change their mind. They don't need no gel with vitamins to make them look like they got baby skin. They're big and hairy and unshaven. They're so wild, don't try to tame them. Real men don't moisturize. They don't need no guava cream round their eyes. Cuts and speed in their skins as hard as high. They drink beer to rehydrate when they're dry. They're so busy being manly, jutting chins and firm gripped handshakes, looking butch and swearing blindly, and wearing jeans just a little tightly. Real men don't moisturize. Real men don't moisturize. They don't need no herbal re-energize. They're fast and loose and they take life in their stride. All the crazy science with the hyperallergenics just don't fly. In the country they don't pamper, they don't go for all that glamour. I'm asking you, what kind of man would buy an anti-wrinkle skin enhancer? Real men don't moisturize.
Yes, folks, real men used to be the staple of country music until modern country makeovers became the norm. By the way, I'd just like to thank my good friend semi-blind mariachi Mexican band leader Juan Gooday for his wonderful contribution to that record. He really knows how to toot the flute, folks. Now, if you'd like to advertise your product or service on the Dusty Sweeney Country Show, well, why not get in touch with Eager Bob in our marketing department? He is eager to talk to you. Isn't that right, Bob? Huh? Bob is my current wife's son from another marriage. You just do what you can. Contact Bob direct at e.bob@rustybullets.com. I guess I've come to the conclusion that modern country is the soundtrack to a world that I just don't belong. I'm just not wearing it. And Lord knows, and Whiskey'll testify, I've tried lacy knickers. It just rubs me up the wrong way. I guess I'm just used to a high body count and a heavy helping of devastation in my music. Is that too much to ask? Well, folks, that's all from me in this episode. I sure hope that I've convinced you that we need to get a grip on country music and revisit those good old values that brought us all together in true misery. and feeling as empty as this whiskey bottle beside me. Next time around on the Dusty Sweeney Country Show, we'll be taking a closer look at those crazy things that folks love to believe in, like religion and superstition. And you lucky listeners will be privy to some of my well-sozzled 3 a.m. whiskey-inspired conspiracy theories. Yes, have we got a real treat for you. But before I go, though, there's just one thing I'd like to add. There's a difference between killing folks in songs and killing folk in real life. No one got hurt in the making of this show. But if you didn't shed a tear, sure I wouldn't be doing my job right. If you're hungry for more country capers, I'll see you on the next episode of the Dusty Sweeney Country Show for Bling and Country. Until then, keep note of where you put that rainy day whiskey stash and keep your high hand low. My name's Dusty Sweeney. I'm a country cliché.
'Cause I'm a country cliché. Old dirt roads and highways, whiskey bottle full of heartache. Blessed Jesus giving me faith.